The nation's finest roast
potatoes, dehydrated from Idaho. A salad made of lettuce from California, savored with a dressing ready-made in Illinois. For dessert, cherries shipped in frozen from Michigan. These are processed foods, a meal almost cooked before it's purchased.
We could not provide this meal away from home, this variety of foods, if it weren't for the food processing.
Well, now, why not, Red?
Well, Bill, back in the old days when I first started in this business, you used to have to keep the chickens in the basement. You'd have to go down, kill those chickens, pick them, cut them up. You used to have half cattle coming through your back door. Had to have a fancy meat cutter to break down that half cattle, get it down in the sections of the parts of the meat that you wanted to use. Then it would be very difficult to get each size of portion, just cut into the exact size you wanted. And also you had this job of peeling potatoes. You had to do a lot of potato peeling, had to do a lot of cutting, whereas today all of that type of food comes in, ready to go to the oven or to the frying pan, and the uniformity means so much. If you got 4 people sitting at a table like this, you're sure that 4 people's gonna get the exact same quality and the same portions. We feed 3,000 people a day, 1 million meals a year. So many people eating away from home these days, you might call this mass feeding here, institutional feeding. And just like the airlines, the schools, the governments, the hospitals, we have to be pretty demanding when it comes to food we buy. Quality, standards, and uniformity.
If the hungry American public likes its meals in a hurry at the restaurant, it also likes home meals without fuss and bother. To get semi-prepared foods, the housewife turns to one of the biggest food buyers of all, the chain supermarket.
The story of the supermarket is really evidence of a food revolution in America. Convenience and time saving. The customers are looking for foods that are convenient. They no longer look for the items that you have to soak, stir, and mix. They look for items now that you heat, serve, and eat. Whether this food revolution is caused by new marketing techniques or by the increased tempo of people on the move is hard for me to say. But one thing for sure, we in the supermarkets are going to have to please the housewife. She will always be the boss.
Most housewives I know are much too busy to spend time in the kitchen and even spend time shopping for that matter. Thank heaven they're able to get so many foods at the grocery store that are already half prepared, saving time. Think of how long it would take to shuck all that corn. I don't think it's necessary really today to shop but once a week if you're smart and if you have a freezer.
Well, I know what some of you are thinking, the old-fashioned taste of old-fashioned cooking, back before there was mention of food processing. But before some of you make the reckless accusation that foods don't taste like they used to, beware of our independent housewife.
I think one of the most ridiculous charges in the world is that you can't be a good cook and use processed foods. I buy as many foods that will save me time as possible, to save time, to devote to a family of 4 children and a husband. And I think really that the art of cooking is in the proper selection of food and in seasoning. That's what makes a satisfied family.
One of the big problems is the distance that we have to transport some of these convenient foods. As an example, we have frozen foods coming from California, up in New Jersey, and down in Georgia. We feel that a great many of these items could be grown and processed here in North Carolina. And it would be a tremendous saving to the consumer in the freight rate alone. We are very North Carolina conscious. Let me show you. We feature products that are processed in the state of North Carolina, baby food, country ham, dairy products, pickles, various other items. And we hope that as the years go by that there will be hundreds and hundreds of other items processed in North Carolina that we can sell during this sale.
Well, I know that this is good news for our farmers and processors in this state to know that they have an outlet such as this to sell their products. The nucleus for food research is at North Carolina State. The 25-man Department of Food Scientists keep in close touch with the food farmer, the processor, and the consumer. Now, our research scientists already have many achievements to their credit.